You transfer to a new duty station, and one of the schools you're looking at requires you to only wear their school produced kimono gi. And you're wondering, what are my thoughts about it? So I am al-Aziz, owner and head instructor at Semper Fortis Jiu-jitsu here in San Antonio, Texas. And I'm here to tackle this week's question of the week. So one of my former students in the military transferred to a new duty station, and he's looking at schools, and one of the schools he looked at requires him to buy that school produced gi that already has the patches sewn on. He cannot use his old gis and sew the school patches on. And what I mean by that, like the standard practice in the majority of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu schools, including mine, is like you would have whatever gi, like I think this is an Atama, you sew a patch on the front, like this is an association patch, and then like a school patch on the back. That's pretty much the standard practice. But there's a few Jiu-Jitsu associations and schools that require you to buy, not just have the patches for their association and school, but buy that school's produced gi slant kimono, and that's the only thing you can wear for training. Like some schools would be like only white gis. Some schools would be like the IBJJF approved colored gis, white, blue, or black. And then some schools is they can't be two-tone gis. And then you get to my school and it's like, dude, whatever gi you want to wear your gi. I don't care if it's a pink gi. I don't care if it's tie-dye. I don't care if it's two-tone. As long as it's a jiu-jitsu gi that's not going to tear, whatever floats your boat. And just attach the association patch and the school patch on the back, and that's good enough. Why do schools require you to buy their approved gi? It's a money-making, opportunity for them. They're looking to generate more income for their school, so they've contracted with some company in Pakistan, or there's a few other gi companies that offer the they'll produce a gi that already has the school patches, and they mass produce it, and your school and association buy a bunch of them, and that's the only gi they allow to be worn in their classes. So for a military guy, like I was in the Navy for 33 years. Every 3 years I had to transfer to a new duty station. So for me, that would be a deal breaker. It was like, no, I've got a lot of gis. I'm not going to train at a school where now I have to only buy your gis, and all of my other gis would just sit in a closet because I can't wear them to train. And, there's really no justification for schools to run their business like that, other than they're just trying to make money. And, whatever floats their boat. If you disagree or you have some justification, feel free to comment below. I've heard, friends are like, oh, well, it develops more camaraderie. It instills discipline. It makes everybody uniform. And almost every time I hear an instructor say that, the more militant or militarized they talk, it's almost always guys that were never in the military. Like, I was in the Navy for 33 years. You can wear a tie-dye gi made by anybody to come train with me. But I know guys didn't serve a day in the military. They're like, no, you got to call me by this title. You got to line up, stand at attention. You got to bow to me. You got to wear my special gi. Everything's got to be uniform. It's like, okay, bro, whatever floats your boat. So that's my thoughts, is like if I went on a duty station and I was making a choice between a couple schools, and one school required me to buy only their gis because I could only use their gis and their rash guards for training, I'd choose someplace else. But that's me. Unless it was like some huge discrepancy where maybe Roger Gracie was teaching at the school, or Marcelo Garcia, some legendary jiu-jitsu practitioner, and I had to buy the school gi, and the alternative was like, Rex Kwon Do or something, and I could wear any gi at Rex's place. I would probably just suck that up and buy the gi, because I had the opportunity to train with this legendary practitioner, Vice, Rex Kwon Do. But other than an exception like that, there's no way am I going to buy, that school's gis and only use that school's gis. I just think, I understand, it's a money-making opportunity for that school. They're trying to generate more income. Business is rough, but not a fan, so I don't do it. All right. That's it for this week's question of the week. Got a question for next week or comment below? Feel free to fire away. Other than that, ciao.